Welcome back. One last game today, and this is winners round 3 as the River P takes on Bunjel for a place against Emoad Nomad in round 4. The River P getting past Benders in his first game, and Bunjel getting past said games. I'm happy to say I'm joined with 2 other competitors in this tournament, starting with the number 2 seed Garrett. So Garrett, what do you think of the game coming up?
I'm pretty excited for this one because both the River P and Bunjel have a PB of 4 minutes 26 seconds, so it should be a fairly even match.
Hopefully a close and exciting one. And from the golf course to the commentary box, Sphere Cube, been eliminated, but you said you're excited now to watch some games. What do you make of this one?
I'm pretty much the same as Garrett. I'm pretty excited for this one since their PBs are so close together.
Okay, thank you. So I'll ask our runners to get ready and I'll count you in. 3, 2, 1, go. And just wait a couple seconds because the stream doesn't sync exactly. You can see that Bunjel's gone a bit before, but we'll make do with that.
I will say, hole 1 might actually be one of my favorite holes to watch because there's such a plethora of strats you can actually go for in hole 1 here. You can already see by their different first shots.
Simple for the new viewer. Yeah, over taking up the right route.
And another observation I see, both players deciding to use pretty much the same exact me.
Oh, yeah.
They're both fans of Mr. Reagan. Good old Ron.
But,
wow.
Well, I would say Bunjel's ahead, but he's not really. He just started a little bit earlier. It's pretty even going into 2, and that's what we want. Close, even matches. Bunjel showing the first use of the disconnect strategy. I suppose, Garrett, you could explain exactly how that works.
Okay, so to perform a disconnect shot successfully, one must disconnect the batteries from their remote as they're halfway through their swing, and then reconnect the remote as the golf ball goes through the water, and it'll allow you to essentially zip to the power of the reconnect shot you do.
Okay, so basically 2 shots in 1.
In a way.
Yeah. So while that's happened, River about 6 seconds ahead now, which means that their streams were perfectly synced going into 3. You can see they're both in the sand, but obviously River started second. Not the best approach shot by River.
Bunjel with a slightly better approach. He might take the lead here with the solid putt.
He won't. Because
yeah.
The time thing. So yeah, River. Basically, I mean, he lost a smidgen, and as we saw in the last game, the smidgens do sometimes matter. But going into 4, he has a commanding lead still, but certainly not an irrevocable one, especially if he does that.
Both players hitting the right pin.
And Bunjel with a long putt, and that pretty much equalises things.
Yeah, River had a stroke lead, and now things should be even.
So exciting stuff going into hole number 5.
So now we see both players doing disconnect again on hole 5. Yeah. And almost the same wind, but not quite.
Both players are left-handed golfers, so we will get to see the Mies facing towards us while they're standing on the water.
Bunjel missed the chip in and is on the rough, very far away from the hole.
And that is rough, because he's going to have to do another approach shot to get back there, as well as then go for the putt. In fact, it looks like 2 approach shots. So it's advantage River. He's on hole 6, making his approach shot via a disconnect, while Bunjel just finished top 5. Not gone perfectly for River. So, and it's not great, that approach either. On the fringe, you'd think he'd almost rather be on the fairway, so he could attempt. He'd have the option of trying the chip, and yeah, this has been a really poor hole for River, but still ahead.
Wow, Bunjel with a really nice disconnection shot, and he is back in the game.
7 seconds separate the 2. River going in at 3:31, Bunjel at 3:38. Well, we knew it would be close between these two, and it's proven itself to be so. We're on hole 7. Better for River, I would say.
Yeah, great approach with the wedge there from the bunker for River. That is a very safe play as opposed to an iron, which you could probably more easily get the eagle with, though it can go exponentially worse if the shot were to be missed.
And yeah, River ahead going into 8. And, well, 8, it's one that can be messed up easily if you take your focus off. River using disconnect, as is Bunjel, as is expected.
Yeah, it's interesting there because River was, you could tell he was struggling to decide whether he wanted to go to the left or right there, but he actually had a great win to just hit it straight if he wanted to choose to not do disconnect and just lose a second or two.
Yeah. River getting it done, as does Bunjel. So here's hole 9, River in the ascendancy by a significant amount of time, I believe about 13 seconds. But this is the hole. If you're going to choke a run, it does often happen here. So we'll see.
Bunjel
Wow.
going for a safe
Successfully
approach on
makes
the
it.
island.
Yeah, that was nice. And I think the choking hazard is gone now, because River has this putt to take the first game and get a huge lead, and he does. 1-0 to the River P. As this is right, Bunjel finish his run and see what his time is. You might think, 4:26, we were promised amazing times. Remember that the tournament strats are much safer, you don't get to restart. But 20 seconds in it, there or thereabouts, the scores don't matter, just the time. And River takes the 1-0 lead, so I ask the runners to get ready again so I can count them in once more.
Now this match, this game that just happened, is a good example of how little things do count in runs like this. So both players will have to keep that in mind going into this next game.
Well, you can let me just count them in. 3, 2, 1, go. And again, there'll be a little bit of delay, but we can deal with that. So yeah, expand on that sphere. What did you notice in game 1 that made the difference? Because 20 seconds, although it may seem like a lot, isn't really much in the grand scheme of things to decide a tournament run. So what did you notice?
Well, for one, I noticed that both players struggled on different parts of this run, especially on the later holes, maybe getting their nerves to the best. But this is a really good example of how even if your opponent is vastly in front of you by like 20 or so seconds, then you are not completely out of the game because they can easily make mistake after mistake until you come back.
Yeah, I would agree with that, basically. I think Bunjel just having quite a decent lead here. It will be of about 4 or 5 seconds. Garrett, what are your thoughts on the first game as we get through the early holes? Bunjel choosing not to go with shortcut, by the way, on 3.
I noticed that both players kind of had like one disastrous hole each, like Bunjel with that missed driver chip going all the way back down on 5, and then River kind of lollygagging beyond the green on 6. So
Well, close from River, wasn't it? Yeah, carry on.
Interesting shot from River. Doesn't hit it hard enough and falls into the out of bounds after the shot onto the island. Also, he barely made that shot.
Interesting is a very diplomatic way to describe it.
I try to be nice.
Pretty
Bunjel with a nice approach, and he's going into hole 4, and the River almost making a driver chip.
Yep. So what does that make him? 5 seconds behind at least, probably maybe 7 or 8. As
Bunjel
we move
with a
on.
great approach shot with the iron there, choosing not to go for bunker driver, but has a very easy putt.
When you have the lead, you do have the option to take the less risky strategy. Of course, it can come back to bite you, but it does put your opponent under pressure to take the risky shots, which can often go dreadfully. You can lose like 20 seconds. to say, it's not a zero-sum game, but it certainly adds an extra dynamic that you don't normally see in speedruns. And that's why I like races, because you have to see players adapt to the situation they're in.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's actually nice to let the runners be able to listen to the live commentary so they can decide what strats to go for on the spot so we can see bigger risks being taken depending on the
And
situation.
River is ahead now, but yeah, go on.
this is another example of little things mattering, being probably way more important than big movements, because Bunjel just pretty much gave up the lead there with the missed putt. But he can be coming back.
Yeah.
That's an interesting putt for Bunjel, and yeah, not a far enough adjustment. I saw it from a mile away.
And 7, Rivers, doing decent in 7. So again, he does have the advantage to take a huge step into winners round 4. Well, I don't want to say it's over for Bunjel yet. It isn't, but he would be placed in the losers bracket as things stands. He needs a miracle hit, as he does get a nice tee shot on 7 onto the green, but River has already sank it, so it is 1 stroke apart, and it's actually more than that because of the time delay and the fact Bunjel's missed his putt. So River just with the approach on 8.
Yeah, but anything can happen on hole 9, especially. Yeah. I don't know how many times it's happened in this tournament, but if you don't make that second disconnect shot onto the final island, you can be in a bit of a predicament. So
River sunk at 4:15. Let's see the time Bunjel gets as he approaches. Oh, nearly the chip in there.
Now River has a good opportunity to close this out if he can just make these disconnection shots.
41.
He may get a sub 5 time. One of the
26 second advantage River has.
Oh, no.
That is not good at all.
What will River decide to do here?
Disadvantage of using disconnect. He could go for give up if he really wants. I think that's what he's doing. Which,
River choosing just to putt the ball down.
If you get a score that's too high, the game automatically declares you as having given up. That you have completed the hole if you do that. So it is a valid way to complete the run. But suddenly Bunjel's in it.
Will Bunjel make this last putt though?
Surely. Yeah,
he will.
Be close.
25.
River gets the give up first.
No.
Wow. I did say about hole 9, it is a choking hazard. And, well, River allowed it near small children, but luckily he didn't choke. He just
that was like, I think I got a 520.
No, you didn't, Bunjel.
Holy crap.
No, I never split.
Wow.
But so yeah, it was very close. You might actually, do you want to request the live time?
No, I'll look at myself. I'll look at what time the ball is.
River. Yeah, well, I thought
was it? Oh, there was like a 7-second delay at the start.
Anyway, while he does that, we'll talk to our winner. So the River Pete 2-0 win. People thought this would be a close match, but in the end, you made pretty short work of Bunjel. How do you feel after that? You must be pretty happy.
Well, I've been playing for a couple hours before this match, and I haven't been doing too good of a job. I was doing some no resets too, and I didn't even come close to this. Like, I was doing really badly, like averaging 5x and everything. So I'm very proud of myself for this showing today.
Yeah, it was a 523, GG.
Emorad Nomad is next for you. Obviously he's the number 1 seed. That's obviously going to be a very difficult match. How will you approach it as you try to cause a massive upset?
I'm going to have to play aggressive. Is the only answer I have.
We'll leave that to people's imagination. Thank you, River. Bunjel, obviously coming away the loser, as people, as I said, 2-0, people expected to be a close match. I don't think you did too badly, but you must be a bit disappointed.
Yeah. It was really just stupid mistakes. Like, that last game should have been a fairly easy win, but I missed 2, like, extremely easy putts just from being too ignorant to adjust. So it's really just my fault. And next time, and I did go for a driver chip on 5 in the first match that I really shouldn't have went for. So next time I'll just take a more safe approach, take more time with my putts, and I should be able to come out with a win.
Well, unlike River, you don't know your next opponent. It's going to be either Paul in the Mall or Toad. Well, now you're in the sort of the losers bracket. It's obviously a big minefield. How will you approach the games in the future, knowing that you're one loss away from going out of the tournament completely?
I feel like my next round I should be able to make it out. It'll just depend on the way the tournament plays out, to be honest, and who I go against. That'll basically decide my play style.
Thanks for that. I'll give the co-commentators any final things they want to say about game 2. We gave Sphere the first chance this time, so I'll go to Garrett first. What did you think about game 2?
It was fun. I mean, I didn't play it, but it was fun watching both the Ronald Reagan me's face off against one another.
Maybe we should do a historical figures tournament. Yeah, everyone has to pick one person from history to represent. Sphere, I tried to force you to make the answer actually about Wii Sports Golf because Garrett got the comedy answer, so you have to give the serious one. What did you think about game 2?
Well, it was definitely an interesting match, and we saw other examples of small things mattering in golf runs. And I would agree with Garrett, and it was pretty fun to see two Reagan memes battle it out. But but overall, it was a pretty exciting match, and I can't wait to see what these competitors will do in the future of this tournament.
I should note that Spear has a tattoo on him saying that the small things matter. He applies it to every facet of life. But anyway, thanks for watching. The VOD will be available on Twitch and YouTube. There's a bracket on challenge, and if you enjoyed it, why not join the Wii Theory speedrunning Discord server? I'll say with 70% accuracy that you won't regret it. So thanks for watching, everybody. We really do appreciate your support. We'll be getting quite a lot of support. I don't know who we're raiding, but check the individual out. And I have nothing more to say, so I will bid you